East the deal. It's Warren Lynch. Start of a new podcast that I'm doing. I got my whole little setup right here. I'm not official yet. It's not the official setup. Still gonna be adding things, bringing new things in. But so far, this is the setup. You feel what I'm saying? Right here in my own very living room. Little microphone right here. Gaming headset so I can hear myself and everything. It's a janky little setup, but it's a setup. And we gonna get this shit popping. But first things first, most importantly, rest in peace to Takeoff. A member of the Migos was fatally shot in, I believe it was Houston, somewhere out there in Texas, over a dice game, is what people are saying. I heard some stories where it was a fight that had broke out between Quavo and somebody else, and it was more like a stray bullet kind of thing hit him. It wasn't intended for Takeoff. He was around in the area and got killed, unfortunately. It sucks, but it seems like, man, past couple years, seem like this is what hip hop has come to, man. Like, it's just so much death in hip hop right now. It's ridiculous right now, man. It's like this isn't what hip hop was created for. This isn't what hip hop was built for. Hip hop was built to take people out of the ghettos, out of the hoods, out of these fatal situations, and put them in better situations for them and their families and stuff like that. And it seems like, I heard Master P say it, or I've heard a lot of people say it, not just Master P, but I say Master P because I just heard him say this not too long ago. But it seems like, hip hop is the new streets now. Like, instead of us making it out the streets to hip hop to better our lives, we are taking hip hop and putting it in the streets. It's like these hip hop artists who make it out, they want to go right back to the streets, and it's like, for what, man? Because you see what happens. You see the how can I say, what word am I looking for? You see the outcome of it all, of wanting to be back in the streets and shit. Is just dumb. It's dumb, bro. And for the hip hop community, not more so the rappers, the entire community, the fans, the listeners, we have to have better integrity in this hip hop game. As a community, as fans, as listeners, we have to have better integrity. And the reason why I say that is because in the past 5-6 years, with all these rappers' deaths, we've been able to see every single one of them on the internet. We've been able to see whether it was a video of them actually getting killed or pictures of them getting killed, or like just whatever, like from XXXTentacion, we didn't see the full, we seen video, then we see people with their cameras out walking around his car while his body was just sitting in the driver's seat. Nipsey Hussle, able to see that, his body laying there while his brother was trying to pump light back into him. Sorry for that. Windows open, I forgot to close the windows. It is what it is, and we ain't editing nothing out. We keeping everything, baby. Also, too, if you hear little noises going around the room, it's like something biting on something or something like that. That's my little puppy. Got a little puppy. He's destructive. It is what it is. Like I say, we not editing nothing out. We posting all this shit. If you see water or anything dripping down, it's not no Jerry curl juice. It's actual water. I just got out the shower. Didn't fully dry my hair. I was anxious to get this shit started. So if you see water dripping down anywhere, I just got out the shower. Leave me alone. But like I was saying, man, from Nipsey Hussle and his brother pumping life into him, P&B Rock more recently, and even more recently, Takeoff. Unfortunately, I'm scrolling on YouTube and I come across this picture. I did click on the video. Luckily, they didn't show anybody getting murdered or anything like that. It was Quavo, Takeoff's uncle, trying to figure out what the hell just happened to his nephew. You feel me? He's standing over his nephew, grabbing him, holding him, like, bro, what the hell just happened? You get what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. It's a bad situation, bro. Like I couldn't imagine. You feel me? Like having to see my nephew get shot and killed and have him just lifeless in my arms. Like I can't imagine that for any, not even just a nephew, any cousin, brother, sister, uncle, grandmother, dad, my mom, whatever, like a loved one, a real friend, a real true close friend, loved one. Like I can't imagine that. I've lost people. One of my best friends, I lost him to gun violence. He was shot in the head several years ago. And it sucks, bro. Thankfully I wasn't there. Cause honest to God, if I was there, I wouldn't be here. I'm just keeping that all the way a buck. Like that was my true friend. He was my homie, my rider. We only get one. We only get one, maybe two, maybe three real true friends in our lives that we have to keep around. And he was one of those ones for sure. But it's we all lose loved ones, bro, and it sucks that Quavo had to see that happen. You feel me? And they just put out an album which was doing amazing. It seemed like Takeoff with the whole Migos situation, with the whole group, the whole rumor mill going around that the Migos were breaking up or are broken up and stuff like that. Seemed like Offset is more focused on a solo career and his lawsuit and everything going on against QC and everything like that. It seemed like, even in the Drink Champs interview with Quavo and Takeoff, they kind of said it. Takeoff was stepping up. Takeoff was stepping up to the plate, being more out there, being more vocal, showing his personality. Living life more. Like I said, stepping up to the plate, not letting Quavo just do all the interviews and be the face person. Like there was always a saying with the Migos, like when it was the three of them, it kind of seemed like there was no lead rapper, but it seemed like Quavo was the lead rapper. You get what I'm saying? Like it kind of, like I remember Charlamagne the God said this when all three of them were putting out their individual albums. He was saying not the albums, the Joe Budden situation. That's what it was. That's what Charlamagne was talking about. The Joe Budden situation when they were about to pack out Joe Budden at the BET Awards. Charlamagne the God said they stood up in order of who was like the lead or like the ones popping, like the ones breaking out of their shell. So it was like Quavo stood up first. And Quavo was always looked at as the leader of the group. Then Offset stood up, who was pretty much like the right hand of the group. Then Takeoff stood up, and he was, the more quiet one, the more in his shell. And like I say, it just seemed like these past couple months, really, since this whole little rumor thing was going on about the Migos breaking up, Takeoff really stepped up there and became the right hand man of the 2-man group. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it sucks, bro. Like I say, it really seemed like Takeoff was breaking out of his shell, was ready to really take over, and to me, just bars wise, when it came to the bars, being a real hip hop fan, real hip hop head, it seemed like Takeoff was a real hip hop head. When I say that, I mean he, like, even with the album him and Quavo just put out, I think it was Only Built for Infinity Links. Real hip hop fans will know that came from Raekwon and Ghost. Only Built for Cuban Links. And in the Drink Champs interview, Takeoff said, that's where I got it from. We out at the studio, I'm smoking with one of my partners in the parking lot. We talking about hip hop, talking about just hip hop, and that popped in his head, and that's what he came up with. So, like Takeoff was a real hip hop head. You feel me? A real lyricist, a real rapper. Not saying Quavo wasn't a real rapper, not saying Offset wasn't a real rapper. They're rappers nonetheless, but it seemed like Takeoff was like a true fan. Like he'll still listen to shit back in the 90s type shit, or back in the 80s. Like he was one of those kind of people. And just hearing people who knew him and talked about him, like who knew him and are talking about him now, seemed like he was a pretty good dude. Quiet, stayed to himself, didn't mess with nobody. You really didn't hear too much about uh uh Takeoff being in any hip hop situations, like hip hop beats or anything like that. The only thing I can think of, which was very ironic now that I'm thinking about it, it was years ago. It was a video where XX Tentacion, rest in peace, was having a situation with the Migos. I don't know exactly what it was or what it was over, but there was a video that he put out where he's like literally following. He's right behind Takeoff, following him up the steps. I guess XX and Tentacion just got jumped by the Migos or something like that. So he's following Takeoff up the steps, cussing him out, saying all kind of things to him. And now that I'm thinking about it, and it's very ironic how I was just saying, he didn't really have any hip hop situations, hip hop beefs, and that was the only one that I can really think of that was public. And it's like the reason why it's ironic because both of those brothers are no longer here with us. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a very terrible situation, especially when with this whole rumor thing that was going around with the Migos and how I'm not saying that it was the issue, but maybe Offset was had some little situation going on with Sweetie when she was with Quavo. I'm not too sure. I don't want to get too deep into that because we don't know exactly the situation behind why Offset left the Migos and why it was kind of like a bad situation when he did leave. It wasn't on good terms, but hopefully this plays a part. It sucks that it had to be that somebody had to lose their lives, but hopefully this plays a part that Offset puts all this shit aside. Quavo puts all this shit aside. P and Coach K from Quality Control, they put all this shit aside and they can really just come back to being family and talk whatever situation any situation that was going on, they can talk it out, put it aside, because life's too short, man. Life is really too short. Life is too short for a lot of things and a lot of reasons. You got to live your life. You got to be who you are. And if you don't, you're wasting your life. Like, life is too short for people not to be themselves in this world. Life is too short to continue to hold grudges. You get me? Life is too short to not have fun, to not do the things that you want to do, travel to the places you want to go and stuff like that. Like, the world is bigger than wherever you're at right now. No matter where you're at. Like me, I live in Los Angeles. The world is bigger than Los Angeles. It seems like we have everything you can ever possibly want in Los Angeles. Same thing with places maybe like New York or Miami, these big cities. It may seem like we have everything we want in these big cities, but it's like the world is so much bigger than that. The world is so much bigger than Los Angeles. The world is so much bigger than New York, Texas, Miami, wherever you're at right now. The world is bigger than that. Travel. Life is too short for you not to do the things you want to do. Life is too short for you not to be the person you want to be. And if you have any situations, any grudges with somebody that you considered a true loved one, end that shit. End it. It's stupid. Back to, I was talking about my best friend that got killed several years ago. We weren't on good terms. It was some shit and I admit it was some shit that I did. That was some snake shit. I'm not gonna lie about that. Some snake shit that I had did. before he passed away, we managed to talk about it. We talked it out. We ended any little situations we had, but we were never back to that point to where we were before the situation happened. You know what I'm saying? So when he did die, it was still kind of like, at first, when it first happened and they first told me, I was like, oh man, that's not my problem. It's not my situation. We weren't cool like that anymore. But then it just really sat with me. It's like, nah, man, you can't be like that. Like, that person had your back through everything, no matter what y'all went through or was going through. That person had your back, and it hit me, it struck me, and broke me down. I was crying for days. You feel what I'm saying? Even still now, to this day, all these years later, when I just think about the situation, when I think about my partner, it brings tears to a nigga eyes, man. It sucks, Even with my grandfather. My grandfather's the one who raised me. Didn't know my actual father. My mom was on drugs and shit like that. So, my grandfather's the one who raised me. And even when he passed away, me and him weren't on really good terms like that. My fault again, not ashamed to say, but yeah, me and him weren't on good terms as well. And even with that, with my grandfather's situation, it hurt a lot more because he died of cancer, and the cancer was spreading all out through him, all out through his body and shit like that, to where it affected his memory. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't have a really long-term memory. He didn't really remember a lot of people and stuff. So, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot, so you just gotta sometimes, man, you just have to be the bigger person. It sucks. Nobody wants to be the bigger person in any situation. We all want to just, be a bunch of grown ass kids and do what we want to do and just let things play out however it's supposed to play out. But at some point, you feel me, you have to be the bigger person and not let things play out the way they're supposed to play out, and take life by the hands and control this motherfucker the way you want to control it. And that's the real. You get what I'm saying? You have to, like I said, I don't really want to say this expression because of, the whole Takeoff situation and everything like that, but sometimes you have to bite the bullet and suck up the pride. Pride, like what's that song by J. Cole? Pride is the devil. And that's very true. Pride, having a lot of, having pride is not a bad thing. You feel what I'm saying? Having pride is not a bad thing, but having too much pride is a bad thing, and it can be detrimental to your life, to your health. You feel what I'm saying? Like even like with pride, like some people be sick, some people will be coughing for shit months at a time and just be like, oh no, I'm fine. Oh, I don't need to go to a doctor. I'm cool. I'm healthy. I'm good. Fuck around and not even know they got cancer. You get what I'm saying? Because that fucking pride. That's that pride fucking with them. Oh, I'm too prideful to go to a doctor. I'm too prideful to go to a hospital. I know me. This is my body. I'm fine. I don't know. Fuck around. Now your family's out there washing goddamn cars to try to pay for your funeral. You get what I'm saying? Pride is the devil. Having pride is not a bad thing. Having too much of it will kill you. And that's just the way it is, bro. So, I just want to end that, man. I just want to say that we're going to end it here. But, rest in peace to Takeoff, man. Rest in peace to a lot of the rappers that we have lost, not only this year, but in the past 5-6 years, bro. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of rapper deaths, more than usual. And us as a hip-hop community, we got to do better. These outside folks, these people not in the community, these people outside of this hip-hop world are looking at us crazy right now. And the only people we have to blame is ourselves. So, I just want to say that, man. This is the start of the podcast. Don't have a name for the podcast yet. It will probably come to me at some point, but until then, this is the first episode of whatever the name of it is going to be. I probably may not even have a name to it. I may just put these things out the day I record them like this. I've recorded this on a Tuesday. I'm putting this shit out. I'm uploading it today. I ain't no telling when it will be uploaded because for some reason that shit like to take a long time to upload. But it's going to be uploaded. So, yeah. It is what it is, man. Not too sure what the name of this podcast is going to be. But I'm going to start be doing this more, at least once a week. I'm going to try to put these out as much as I possibly can, at least once a week, like I say. I may start doing on this channel. I may start, if you haven't been tuned in, if you haven't been watching, I started the GTA RP, the role playing shit for GTA. It's fucking amazing. It is truly fun. With that, once I start hitting certain numbers with the GTA RP, I will be moving that content over to my gaming channel, which I have up already. I got a couple clips up there of me streaming and stuff like that. But once I hit a certain audience and hit certain numbers for the GTA RP, it will be on this channel. But once I hit those certain numbers and goals, I'm going to move that over to my gaming channel. I'm gonna start doing a lot more storytelling. A lot of people have been asking about it, so I'm gonna do some storytelling on this channel. Like I said, this podcast that I don't have a name for, I'm gonna start doing a lot more. May even get into the news a little bit. May do that by like at the end of the week. At the end of the week, I may upload just certain things that's happened throughout the week and talk about them a little bit. Yeah, man. That's it, bro. I'm out this thing. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good shit, bro. Yeah, if you want to, do it. If not, it is what it is. As long as you watch, that's all that matters. I'm out this bitch.